UFC 275 saw a new champion being crowned, but the question is, how convincing was the win by Jiri? Will we finally get to see Leon Rocky Edwards bring the belt home since he is being handed the chance to redeem himself at UFC 278? Joanna left the Singapore Stadium silent after leaving her gloves in the cage. Is this a farewell to a real pioneer of the sport? And what else did UFC 275 have in store for us? What up guys, and welcome to Ring Talk. I'm Mo, and just like you, I can't believe the gloves are off and Joanna is done. But before we get into that, make sure you like and subscribe to support your boy. Let's get to it. Starting off with Joanna, who retires instantly after a brutal knockout defeat by Weili.
Guys, I love life so much. I will join this league. I'm retired, guys. I love you so much. Thank you for the support. UFC!
The gloves have been left in the octagon, and Joanna calls it a career after 20 years in the game. At the age of 34, Joanna has accomplished a lot, and now wants to start a family and even experience motherhood. Ending her time with a record of 16 wins, 5 losses, the former strawweight champion will not be forgotten. In terms of the fight, Joanna did not look in her element, and cage rush showed, regardless of what others may think. In my eyes, once a fighter has decided, it changes everything. JJ must have gone into a fight with the mindset that this could be her last. And on to our local boy fighting out of Birmingham, Leon Edwards, who has finally been given his chance for a rematch against Kamaru Usman at UFC 278. Rocky is on a 10-fight win streak, whilst the pound for pound is on 13. He has been pushed aside numerous times either by the UFC or injuries, but now the day is booked, the venue is ready, and it's gonna happen in Salt Lake City. Will it be sweet revenge, or will the pound for pound king add another title defense to his record? I guess we'll find out on August 20th. Meanwhile, another matchup that is brewing is none other than Khamzat the Wolf, who this time has set his crosshairs on Nate Diaz for his next fight. The question is, will Uncle Dana give him the nod? Many of you would agree Kobe was a right fight to make for the Hungry Wolf, but following the Masvidal incident, Kobe seems to not be on the cards. So Khamzat has taken to Twitter to call out the likes of Bilal Muhammad and then redirecting his focus to Nate. Let me know who you think will be next for him in the comment section below. You never know, Uncle Dana might need some help on this one. And finally, the student has defeated the master, and we now have a new light heavyweight champion. A dogfight by a pair of classy professionals. On the judges' cards, Glover was in line to retain his belt, but it ended up with Jiri submitting him in a last-minute finish. That said, it's crazy to think that Glover only had to survive 28 seconds to win the bout, which raises the question, was that win convincing enough? Glover has immediately demanded a rematch, but with the likes of Yan waiting for a chance, will this happen? Enough of the news, let's see what went down in UFC 275. This action-packed event got to a flying start when the two underdogs opening the main card both KO'd their opponents. Jack Della KO'd Ramzan Emeev in a first-round thriller, whilst Jake Matthews got a devastating second-round KO. The much-anticipated rematch between Weili and Joanna did not disappoint when Weili threw a spinning backfist midway through the second round. The co-main event threw us another curveball when Valentina narrowly won a split decision. But that followed with a shocking result that saw the reigning champ lose his title with 28 seconds remaining. A bout which was worthy of being fight of the night. Performance of the night was awarded to Weili, and rightly so after a dominant performance. So let's take a deeper look into this. Weili came into this fight on the back of a loss against Doug Rose. However, backtracking a bit further, Weili defeated Joanna in UFC 248 via majority decision, in a fight people regarded as fight of the year and a milestone in female combat sports. And it seems this time around the fight swung the same way as the last. Let's get into the number side of things. This was a 3-round fight that saw Joanna KO'd in round 2. Weili outlanded Joanna in significant strikes that could really be seen on the night. She was the more physical fighter that was on display, with 6 takedowns that she attempted and 50% being successful. A huge improvement compared to the first fight. Both fighters concentrated their efforts around the head region, with Weili having doubled the number of strikes. The first round saw exchanges from both fighters but Weili clearly showed more aggression and skill. She was successful in taking down Joanna and inflicting the ground and pound, but before the end of the first round, Joanna was able to get back up and both fighters engaged in the pocket. The second round started in a similar fashion and both came out hungry. Weili was backed onto the fence and that's where she unloaded a perfectly timed spinning back fist that ultimately sent Joanna to sleep. Moving to the co-main event, we saw Valentina the Bullet take on Taila Santos for the UFC Flyweight Championship of the World in a 5-round nail-biter. Recording her 7th consecutive title defense, the fight started with the expected Valentina doing what Valentina does. Yet, that started to change towards the end of the first round with Taila reversing a takedown and taking the back of Valentina, attempting to neck crank her. Santos continued her effective takedowns in round 2 and gained a significant amount of ground time, however did not inflict damage as much. Later on the round, Valentina fired with her own takedown, yet Santos managed to reverse it and take control. Back control and submission attempts were all on show by Santos, showing her dominance in the grappling. At this point, some had Santos up 3 rounds, but this was far from it. An accidental clash of the heads in early minutes of round 4 started to see momentum swing in the favour of Valentina as she dominated in the stand-up, and she finished the last round on top with a takedown of her own. The judge had it 48-47 Valentina, 48-47 Santos and 49-46 Valentina. Yes, you heard that right, 49-46. That judge was having a howler. What on earth was he watching? In the fight that many thought Santos the victor, Valentina was able to successfully defend her belt. The fight of the night, on the other hand, wasn't left to a controversial decision. We saw the old man Teixeira come up against the young prospect Jiri. With the champion being the underdog of this fight, there was no room for disappointment, with the first round starting off with the champ taking Jiri down and releasing some ground and pound. However, the round finished with Jiri raining strikes down at the champ after a failed submission attempt. Jiri started to throw deadly combinations and stunned Glover, eventually attempting an anaconda choke. This turned once again when Teixeira landed a left and dropped Jiri, allowing him to grapple once again, ending the round on top. The third showed mistakes that Jiri capitalized on and was able to inflict huge ground and pounds. The fight repeated itself with both fighters making mistakes, allowing the others to take advantage, with Glover attempting numerous submission attempts. Jiri in the final minute was able to reverse a takedown and took the neck of the champ in the final 30 seconds, choking him out. The scorecards later on showed what we already knew. If the old man had held on for 30 seconds more, he would have accomplished something not many of us would have expected. And in my opinion, that fight was his for the taking. But hey, this is the fight game. We love to hate it. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Hit us up in the comment section to let us know your thoughts on UFC 275 and which fight you enjoyed the most. And remember to like and subscribe and follow us on all our social media platforms, and we'll see you next time.